All right, y'all, let's get into it.
I'm really super into that line anyway. I'm big with it.
All right, guys. First thing we're gonna do. So tonight we're just installing the whole kind of like last month we had our big flow, right? That you hit every class. We're gonna install the same like a new one tonight. Okay. So we're gonna start from this butterfly guard, but Tucker has me flattened out. Okay, so put this down. Yep. So almost like this threatening a body lock pass, right? He doesn't have his hands locked, but if he had his hands locked, he'd be well positioned for a body lock pass. From here, what I want you to do, get the joint buddy. All right. First thing I want you to do is get a collar tie. Next thing I want you to do is bring your knees towards your chest. What this is accomplishing is loading him. We want to get under his center of gravity. So I'm going to bring him forward. Okay. Next, I want you to, it's going to look like you're trying to kick your feet up, but I'm actually not kicking my feet towards the ceiling. I want to kick my feet straight along parallel with the floor and let him pull me up. Right there. Makes sense? This is called a forward shift. One more time. He's crowding my hips. Okay. Collar tie. Okay. I can also do this on, let me do it on the other side so you can see. Collar tie. I'm going to load him first by bringing my knees to my chest. And now, and sometimes he'll load himself for me. Okay. He's just like giving me so much pressure. So like this will be even easier when in a live situation. Okay. Once I've loaded him, it's just a quick extension of the legs along, like parallel along the floor. And he pulls me up. Okay. Pull. Right, 1, 2, 3. It's called a forward shift.
And it's got a lot of application, not just in this position.
Now we'll see how strong you are. We'll see how strong you're eating your wheats. Okay, so. Oh, it's fine.
Gotta load him first.
Is it? What's this group?
Just outside of the tricep is fine. The main thing is the collar tie. Bring knees to your chest and then shift them forward.
Ladies. Trying. Maybe.
Keep your knees on the outside though. Knees on the outside of the hips.
That not on the outside?
No, it is now. Yeah, it was just starting to slip. Give him a little forward pressure, Nevada.
Okay.
To make it a little more realistic. Okay.
No.
So reset. All right. Now, so give him a little bit of pressure as he pulls you in, because that is more realistic anyway. All right. So knees to chest before you extend your legs, Tucker.
So.
Make sense?
Sort of.
You load him by bringing knees to your chest, then you extend your legs.
I need to get my knees under his chest. Like.
You bring your knees to your own chest to load him up.
Is that not what I'm doing?
Well, you're also extending your feet at the same time.
No. There you go.
Now ride it up. There you go.
You were trying to do. Yeah, I thought you were picking them up and extending them and doing a different thing.
Yeah, perfect.
Kind of on.
Yes. Yeah, let's do another one.
I was doing them both at the same time. You're supposed to load him and then you kick him out and then push it. I was picking him up and kicking him out. Let me see here. I have to decide. Okay, I need stuff right here. So, color time.
Very nice.
On the way out, are you kind of, I guess, keeping your legs in the air still so that he doesn't like post his feet back down?
I'm getting as much of that momentum as I can. I'm milking that for as much as I can in order to let him pull me up.
Okay.
Once I'm actually already up, then I'm not really worried about keeping my legs hooked anymore.
Yeah.
Because now I'm going to start threatening submission or hip heisting into a front headlock, which
Does
is
it matter if his feet are still able to touch the ground still?
That's perfect.
if his feet can touch the ground. So his feet might be able to touch the ground as you start to shift, right?
Just
Ideally, they're not touching the ground until he's pulled you up.
This is what he told me.
get the collar.
You don't want him like getting caught, like where you have extra friction you got to fight through.
You're almost pulling him straight into the collar tie and loading.
Yeah.
Nice.
Before you do anything. That's not what he was.
As soon as it finally worked out, when he said, "I'll do stuff," he was starting from where you were down on him.
Yeah.
In the guard. And then he collar tied and drew you up. You're just like drawing your leaf. You're going to step one from the get-go. Like, don't collar tie. There you go. It's in your guard. There you go. Bring it to. Yeah.
That looks good.
No passages. We're calling it the big hits video. Oh.
Hey, do it one more time, Nevada.
Yep.
Focus on a slow and controlled extension. Because ideally, if you've loaded him, and you've become his center of gravity, like you've become a ball. You should be able to pretty controlled sit him up, right? You might still do it fast in a real situation, but I'd like to see.
Okay.
I'd like to see it without a ton of explosion.
I'll do it here.
Yeah. Nice. All right, let's add to this. All right, everybody's pretty much getting that down. All right. Devin.
All right, so we're gonna add two. So we've got our forward shift, okay? Chad, this is what we just ran. We're in this position, we're gonna collar tie. Okay, I'm gonna load him by bringing my knees to my chest. Remember, I don't want to extend my legs prematurely, okay? Especially in a real situation, because he's gonna be pressuring forward here, right? He wants, because look, for me to like get offensive butterfly guard, I need to be able to move my hips and move my feet, right? That's why even in like a body lock smashing pass against butterfly guard, they always are looking to take my heels to my butt, right? If he just pressures in with his hips, takes my heels to my butt, it's very difficult for me to use butterfly guard effectively. Okay, my hips get really locked down here. Okay, but if I prematurely try to extend, I'm just wasting energy, but I'm also fighting myself trying to load him. So I want to let him smash my heels. If anything, that forward pressure helps me out. So go ahead and smash the heels. So he's pressuring forward. This is fine. I'm gonna just bring my knees to my chest. You see how just that action, I load him more. Now, as I start to extend my legs forward, he pulls me in. Okay, this is a forward shift. Okay. Now we're going to add to this. Okay, so he's coming forward, collar tie. Now, real quick, why is this collar tie important? Who can tell me?
So he can't posture up or stuff?
Yes. Yeah, look, don't let me forward shift you, okay? Go. Okay. Also, there's two things that the collar tie is going to solve. First, yes. Secondly, as I load him and we forward shift, because his body, and not now, right? But there's a moment where his body is in the air. He can't do anything to stop me from snapping his head down, right? Because he's not connected to the ground. He's only connected to me, right? So here, as we ride up here, I get this cross snap down. Okay, that's the next thing I want you to. Didn't put the camera here. It's the next thing I want you to add to this real quick. Everybody do 10 more, but I want you to add this cross snap down. Okay. So top player, like to make it a little more like realistic, really try to keep their heels glued to their butt, like pressure in with the hips, right? Because this is when you're going to use this, right? I can't fight to the inside. He's got all the inside position. I'm going to use the forward shift. Okay. So I'm looking for this, looking for collar tie, or sorry, yeah, collar tie. Grip on the outside doesn't matter as much. I'm just gripping the tricep. I'm going to load him. I'm going to extend him away into a cross snap. Right there. I want you specifically targeting, remember, front headlock 1-on-1. I want you specifically targeting back of the neck with the shoulder, chin strap. Okay, like that's going to be where we stop, and then we'll add to it again. That makes sense? I don't want to be here on the crown. I don't want to be like up here. I want chin strap and shoulder forward, and I'm glued to them. I'm making like I'm establishing connection, and I'm keeping this. This is what's going to unlock either moving to a sub, which we're going to do for this particular flow, or moving to a hip heist. Right? If I have this position, then it's easy for me to move to the front headlock that we've been running for a month. We're not going to do that tonight. We're going to actually just go for a sub for the flow.
Can it be either side?
Yeah. I just want you to do a cross snap.
Yeah.
So, outside of that, do whatever side feels comfortable to you.
But it's on the opposite side of your collar tie.
Yeah, if you got a collar tie with your right hand, you're gonna snap it to your left. Okay, that'd be aggressive. So if you want to choke them or a front headlock with your right hand, collar tie with your left. Any other questions? 1, 2, 3.
You train it, Ian?
I just thought I would say, hey, thanks. I'm not trying to see. Over here. Other to the house. Yeah, cross. Give it a second.
No, don't rush that snap. There's gonna be a moment where you're maximizing him pulling you up,
Yeah.
and then a snap before he's actually landed. There's this moment where you've maximized letting him pull you up, plus you still get the snap down.
I'm having a hard time getting his head swapped over.
You're not.
That's because he's crowding you. That's because you're still like back here. You haven't your shoulders haven't like pointed north yet, and you're already trying to snap him. For you to snap, look, hey, for you to snap somebody down, you need his head lower than your armpit. Like that's a general rule for a snap down.
How you get ahead of yourself. You gotta follow through on the snap. I mean, the push before you go for the choke. He's still too way far up on you for his hand to be shifted. Because it's here. Shoot your legs out. Get him away from it.
It's good, Devin.
Better. Still need to push him out more. Check.
Okay.
It's firmly good. Yes. That's
Real quick.
Watch this. It's okay.
So when I say I need his crown of his head lower than my armpit to snap him down, like ideally, or to enter a front headlock, right? I need. But if the crown of his head is higher than my shoulders, I'm gonna have a hard time snapping him down unless I'm cutting an angle. Okay.
Here, I'm just positioning.
I want you to maximize this like ride time for him full. Right. So the first thing I need to do is make sure I effectively load him. Because if I bring my knees to my chest and he only moves like 3 inches like that, I'm not really loading him. I need to like really bring my knees to my chest, keep my toes, my hooks active on the butterfly, and really load him. And it's gonna help that he's also gonna give me forward pressure whenever we're doing the slide.
Yeah.
Once I'm here, now I'm the center of gravity. Watch how slow and controlled we can extend our legs along the floor.
Well, when would you snap him down?
Yeah, I didn't stop that. I'm trying to show you how you can slowly maximize that ride time. Good. Now at the tail end of that, right at the tail end of that, right before, as soon as our head points north, our spine is perpendicular to the mat. Yeah, that's snap down territory. Here, we're pulling in, here, here. Make sense? I don't want to snap him down here. I want to wait until I can actually immediately put him into my armpit. That makes sense?
Yeah, basically, back, basically. Yeah.
Remember me?
That's good, slow and controlled. Now do a little more of a snap, right? We want to get the timing down to where he's still actually loaded when you snap him down, right before he's hitting the ground. Yeah, that's good.
See where my gaze is like out here, like. Snap it over. Look, it can't be hard. That's.
Yeah, load him first. Load him first, Irvin. Yeah, just knees to chest. Get your hooks active on his hamstrings. Keep those toes kind of curled back into his leg, kind of contoured to his leg, and take your knees to your chest and try to physically pull him up into you. Now do it.
Yeah, yeah, you're loading, when you load it and bring your knees to your chest, maybe you're moving him up your body.
My head.
I know, they're with no lotion on them. Maybe one of you need it.
I did it. I did it now. Get some pressure. Are you supposed to be like later?
All right, guys. Hey, look, we're gonna modify this a little bit. It's also it should actually help a little bit to make it a little more resistance based here. I want Cody to not let me forward shift him. Okay, he's not allowed to do anything else other than try to maintain his position he has. Okay, go. So don't let me forward shift. You just maintain this position. Okay. So as I start, yeah. Okay, I want y'all to do that. I want you to do it live. You're not trying to pass. I just want you on top, literally trying to maintain his position, trying to not let them, like if I'm in, never, don't let me, first off, don't let me, go ahead. Don't let me be able to do like re-guard and get my heels away from my butt. Constantly looking to smash my butterfly guard and then maintain his position. Because this is precisely the situation this move's going to work. Okay, so go ahead, go. That's what's going to make it work. Okay, so let's add to it, make it a little more realistic, a little more game based. Okay, all right, 1, 2, 3. It should also aid you in loading the.
I'll try some passion.
All right.
No, you didn't snap me over.
We don't want to snap down until we are seated. Okay, we're not trying to snap down while we're still basically belly up. Better.
Is that better?
That's better.
I felt better.
Just don't rush the snap down. The snap down's free if you do the forward shift correctly.
I feel like every time I try to, like if I get,
Mhm.
like if I get here, my legs just slip through.
Well, that's because you got to stay glued to him. So I'm look like when I'm tracking, my feet are contoured to his hamstrings the whole movement. They never leave.
Yeah.
Better, yeah. That was a much better forward shift. That's your best one so far. Everybody, make sure you do at least 10, and then circle back up after you've done 10. Oh, that's great, Devin.
Right, it's both of them is right.
Did you see it out, you know? Are you just gonna hit it?
Huh?
That's right.
No.
One, they're not loaded, and two, they're not getting the guy extended out away from them. Like when I was doing this, that guy's freaking hit me on the just extended out. It's like, and when you, all the time, you watch your knees up, and I'm trying to hit it, you, right next to you, all the way. They're not fully loaded, which kills your extension.
Got it. All right. Let's circle back up. I think we need to spend more time on this board. Your dog getting great. So, I'm gonna keep using mine. All right. These guys need to see. All right.
So, look, if I don't really sufficiently load him, it's gonna feel like if I don't load him right now, okay, and don't let me get it, and I might even just be able to on pure brute quad strength extending right now, right? But don't let me. It's awkward. You see how I'm still at an angle. I still struggle to actually get 90 degrees. Okay. But when I load him, and I don't just mean like a little bump, I mean like freaking load him. You see this? Go ahead. Don't let me get it. Okay. And I can talk to you while I'm doing this too, instead of it requiring brute strength, right? This is me doing this, setting him up, and he can't do anything about it, right? So like, you have to make sure you're sufficiently loading if you want to hit this.
Look at where it's.
Watch your head. Okay? This, if I just load him like this, then I'm just basically kind of like a little bump or a kid. This isn't working. Okay, look at his head. It's still way lower than mine. When I load him, I want to bring him ideally I want to bring his head above mine if I can. But at least like get him ear to ear with me, right? Don't let me get pressure in. See this? Look at my Koichis, my shoelaces. They're active. They're not loose. You can't see my toes. They're contoured. Okay. My knees are on the outside. They're pointed away from each other. I'm never trying to bring my knees to the inside where you can just crush my butterfly frames. My knees are pointed outside. My hooks are engaged. I've loaded him, and then I'm taking my feet straight along the parallel to the mat, not up. I'm kicking straight.
See that far away you move?
We all see I'm kicking my feet. My feet travel here. They don't travel here. My feet travel straight. One more time.
And they're not doing like a ballerina straight through.
It's engaged the whole time. Watch my toes.
Saddle, horse saddle.
Watch my toes. Here. See, I'm trying to track him the whole time. Okay. And this is at this moment, there's this moment right here where he's weightless, or his head's weightless, and it's easy for me to guide wherever I want. But none of this happens if the force just not effective. Okay. So you guys did it great. All right, but y'all gonna keep running.
I suck at it.
But like we have to load him, and then the extension is not. We're not trying to kick him up towards the ceiling. I'm like literally trying to think about taking your feet straight.
And he's riding the feet like on a saddle the whole way away from you.
Everybody do this. Sit down. Curl your feet up. Curl your toes up as if you had a leg attached to them. And literally push your feet in a straight line without going towards the ceiling. And let it sit you up. It's kind of like a dip, right? But this is literally all that's happening. It doesn't require a ton of power. It's why I'm just saying you can do this slow and controlled. You can also do it powerfully, right? But you should be able to like load him and then. Yep. All right, keep running. 1, 2, 3.
Can't get the wheel on me, not expecting the lap.
What's that?
If you can't get the wheels on me, you're not expecting the lap. So are we doing the drill or are we doing live?
Just go a few reps and then go live. I think live should help you though, because This works specifically when they are hell bent on pressuring in like this. Okay. Better. Now I'll do it slow extension, Chad. And talk to me while you do it. Make him feel helpless for like 2 seconds as he just travels.
Yeah, your load was better on that one.
And so,
Parker's supposed to go.
yeah, top player, say wee.
Like that.
Don't rush that. Hey, don't look. Hey, Tucker, that wasn't a snap down. You just did this and you did that. Snap down. Look, snap down. Oh, yeah. Around the head. Snap down. Snap it.
Better.
Better. But now he's starting to work on the snap down. It's just you kind of shucking. I want to see like. Okay. Still want to see a little snap.
Concentrate on
Just a little snappy. Just a little snappy. All that.
Load him.
Eee. All right. You kick towards the ceiling that time, but the snap was better.
Yeah.
Don't kick towards the ceiling.
I know.
Kick towards.
Like wall. Yeah.
Like, kick towards my head. I'll just like here watch.
Basically just needs to get closer so you have the opportunity.
There, Carrie.
Load him.
My face. If you try, kick me.
All right. Concentrate on that beginning part. It's gonna follow.
Right down here. Feet down here. Feet down here.
Your Koichis came completely detached.
You're gonna get this, bro. You're gonna get this. Keep
Picking
working.
me up. Like when you get me up, just kick me straight out. Like don't keep going up.
He got in a hurry on the last one.
Because the first.
Hey, do a couple more. Let Nevada get some reps in too. You're gonna get this. You're gonna do a lot of these this month. Hundreds.
Get in there. Okay. Move. We can go against him or me. I don't care. I'll do that. It'll be the beast of bird.
Okay.
All right. This. Then here, you're.
Try to get his head at least even with your head.
Yeah. There you go. Now, extend.
So pull it in.
Not up, straight out. There you go.
That was good.
Everything was good, but you shot him up.
Yeah,
It's
hey,
good.
look, see your big-
Yeah, I should have slowed it down.
Let's get fatigue. Yeah.
You want more?
Yeah, just chill for a second.
I mean, father, like, proud of him for not dying, but.
Yeah, you're super attached with the feet though, like that. Bring it knees down. Really, that's way less of what's going on. Yeah, way more. Yeah, basically. I'm just.
I want to stay connected to your legs. Look at this. We both got it. Hey, believe in your back. Okay?
Yes, good at that, yeah.
I went to the right side.
But,
It was a better shift.
your load was way better. Yeah. It's getting better.
Is it almost like a rock? Because I feel like it's kind of rough.
He's here on my shoulder.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. That's basically when I say letting go.
Honestly, I was part of the.
Remember when we did very much like back then we were also adding knees and chest.
Try to kick
This?
like just.
We're just doing half of that, right?
Literally.
But it's knees and chest.
It's, I know it's hard.
It's yeah.
I'm having the same legs pulled.
Strict, but also have the added benefit of a 150, 180 pound man on it.
Right there.
So it's gonna really pull me up pretty quickly. Yeah. I still think if you load better, it's gonna be way easier.
Yeah, if you like rock me into you more, like.
Yeah, dude.
So, oh, yeah, I'll.
Whenever you're pulling that.
You're like a rocking chair.
Yes, yes, now, okay, your legs are in the right position, but your weaknesses are not engaged.
They come back, that makes it easy.
They're not, they're,
Yes.
it's like they're,
Just a second. That's a great point.
I know.
All right.
Load,
I got to
yes.
speak real quick. We're gonna.
Hi, dude, you're getting too big a hurt. You're getting frustrated and trying to rush through it. Now get where are your tweaks? You got 6 inches off.
I literally cannot pull my feet back that far.
Right there.
My feet don't go back that far.
You can't do that.
No,
You're doing it right there.
my feet. Okay.
My feet can't do this thing I'm doing.
No. You shouldn't play it, Dad.
Load,
There.
push away.
Move me a little more.
There you go.
Simultaneously, you're trying to. You ever had a hard time doing a sit up and you got to put your feet under the edge of the couch or something like that? Same thing. It's providing a way. Okay, so make that what's giving you the power to do your sit up. Let him ride on the way out. Run it parallel to the ground. You'll get it. You'll feel it when you do it.
There.
Okay, now
Nice, man.
bring your feet out. That your knees. Yeah. Like look. That.
Hey guys. Hey, let's move on. We're gonna do plenty more of these. So if you're not getting it, you're gonna be okay. You're gonna do plenty more of this class plus hundreds more throughout the month. 2 things I want to cover real quick. Cody had a great question. Here, chat.
Oh, sorry. You good? No, you can just put it in there. My feet were stationary, bro. All right. Nope. Where's your game? Nope. All right. Okay. Look, Cody had a great observation. He said, hey, when you're doing it, it seems like you're actually giving me a bit of resistance this way so that I'm giving you more resistance this way so you can then time that. Yes. Like that's like jujitsu. Well, it's not 101. It's like jujitsu 201. But the idea is if I can just give him some resistance enough to cut an angle and fight back on the inside position, and I can just work from here, that's cool. But if I'm really trying to get out and he's crowding my hips and he's just saying, no, sir, I'm not going to let you extend, and my heels are immobilized, then as he gives me that force back, that is the perfect time to do this. Okay. Sometimes he might get lazy down there at the hips, right? So he backs off a little bit. And all I need is a few inches, right? And I can do some glorious work. Okay. So now it's easy. Okay. But if he's taking my heels to my butt, like really, really taking my heels to my butt, like it's not going to happen. Okay. That's where this comes into play. So that's a great question. The next thing, I need you guys to remember this. Taking your feet in a straight line. See where my feet are right now? Like altitude-wise, right? I really want them to stay there. Okay, they're obviously going to naturally rise when I load him. So when I do load him, they're going to rise. But as I kick straight, I want to kick straight. I'm kicking straight, almost back down towards the mat. Think of that. Because otherwise, you're going to be doing this number, okay? And if he's really not trying to get swept, it's going to be pretty difficult, right? And we want something that's also going to work no matter how big they are, okay? So as I load him, yes, my feet rise in altitude, but I want to take them back to initial altitude as I extend. Okay? You see how they traveled low? They didn't travel up. The other thing I want to mention is this is super applicable. When I take Chad's back, there's lots of places you're going to be able to apply the forward shift, right? If I'm here and we're neutral and Chad stacks me neutrally, just straight back. Perfect time for a forward shift. Look at this. He's already loaded himself, right? Forward shift. So this isn't just applicable here, my point, but you need to get really good at this idea of he going stacking. He's loaded himself. So I take my hooks out, I track his hamstrings, and I extend my legs along the mat. Okay. All right. Any questions on this? All right. Y'all seem to be, I know y'all, and I know you're conceptually getting this. You just need to do some more reps. You need to do some more reps.
Yeah, definitely.
I haven't seen enough of yours. I need to see yours again. Does anybody have a question though? Okay. All right, let's get into the attack, the last piece of the flow. Right? So if the flow starts here, okay, I'm gonna do it right side, right?
I want to get him, I want to forward shift. I want to snap, I want to load him, forward shift, snap down. Okay, here, this is where we're going to attack a high elbow guillotine. Okay, let's take 180. There you go. Great job, man. So we just landed here, right? Couple things. First off, we're in front headlock, right? It's not the same thing that we spent the past month on, but at the beginning of last month, you might remember I mentioned there's more ways of being front headlock than just sprawled out. Seated is one of them, right? So now we're in a seated front headlock. I've got a chin strap and I've got my shoulder connected to the back of his neck, and I'm somewhat monitoring this elbow, right? First off, the same is true here. That's true in the sprawled version of front headlock. If you have the opportunity to just immediately go high wrist, especially if you have like longer arms. I don't know if I really have the arms to really hit this really realistically, but if you have this and you can immediately go high wrist and you can go high elbow, then cool. Like just go into your guillotine. More times than not though, I've hit this forward shift, I've hit my snap down, and I'm in this low risk position, and he's pressuring forward, which is going to make it, if his shoulder is touching my chest, it's going to make it really difficult to get a high risk position, right? Because look, if I'm here, my wrist can come up, right? Or also, my elbow can come in here, my high elbow. If his shoulder is touching my chest, I can't get any coverage on that artery, okay? So you've got to be able to recognize this live, where you might have just forward shifted and you're able to get in there quickly, right? And get this elbow locked into play, okay? And in that case, you can attack. But if not, and his shoulder is touching you, the first thing we're gonna have to do is create angle so that we can create separation and get this elbow in. So what I wanna do is literally take my, all I'm gonna do is take my chin strap, and I'm going to extend, I'm gonna shift my head to the other side, the center line shift, the same thing that we've been doing when we're sprawling and we want to get that high rest position. I'm going to take my head towards the other shoulder, and I'm going to kind of blade my body so that my chest becomes disconnected. See, I still don't quite have it all the way up where I really want it, but it's high enough. And most importantly, I can compensate with my elbow now that my elbow can get to play. Okay, so as long as I've separated this, even if my knuckles aren't all the way up where I ideally would want them in a high wrist position, I can still, as long as I can make contact with my wrist and get my elbow high, this is where we can go into the attack. From here, I can finish in half guard, closed guard, open guard, doesn't really matter. All I'm doing is seeing through. Oh, sorry, brother.
No, it's just on the one pipe barrel.
Yeah, my bad. So it's also because it's a little bit lower. So here, chin strap. He's glued to my my chest. I need to be able to make some separation. So I'm going to shoot my head to the other side as I try to shoot my wrist deeper, and I'm going to blade my body here. Okay, my elbow can now get to the inside. And it's still the same high elbow finish of trying to take my elbows to the center line. Okay.
Can you essentially do the same thing that we're doing with the one where if
Yes.
the arm stays in, you just put that around and kind of fall to like,
It's not, no, this is not an arm in.
okay.
No, but it is similar to the one we did last week with the high wrist.
I know the high elbow, but I was, so that the position you're in, if he maintained, you couldn't get any, well, I guess I don't know. That doesn't make any sense.
Are you asking like if his arm was in the way and I can't
Yeah,
get my elbow in there?
So that
There's other
basically come
guillotine.
around like we were doing with the one.
Yeah, there's other
That
forms
kind
of
of-
guillotine we
and
could
then-
go. There's other forms of guillotine we could go into, similar to how there were other forms, depending on his response up top. So in this particular flow, we're just going to go high wrist or high elbow.
Okay.
Or Tucker. Want you to. All right, so the whole flow. Y'all are going to rep this out the rest of the class. Okay, we're here. I need to load him first. So he's trying to take my heels to my butt. He doesn't want me to, he's like crowd with your hips. Yeah. Okay, he doesn't want me to get back, my feet back, right? I'm gonna load him, extend along the lines of the mat, snap him down. Okay, get strong body. Here, his shoulder is touching me. So I need to be able to blade my body to create separation here. So as I take my head to the opposite side, but like past the center line, I'm going to shoot my hand up as high as I can, and I'm going to blade my body to create separation here. So I might, even if maybe that's all I got. Okay. All I need to be able to do is work my wrist here. If I can get my wrist inside, it's money. We're good. Okay. So now I continue to commit to a side, and I take my elbows up. Elbows towards the center line. Okay. It doesn't matter that we didn't get the whole like perfect high wrist position in this case. I'm gonna be able to compensate by getting that wrist in there and taking the elbow up.
Is this supposed to be like more of like a trachea choke?
I guess it could be. It should be a pretty good strength though.
Mhm.
Yeah, but if
Well,
my wrist isn't quite high enough, I could see why it would crush the windpipe. Ideally though, I'm getting as high as I can.
Mhm.
Because if I'm not, if you're not feeling a blood choke, then that means I'm not sufficiently covering that second artery,
It feels like
which could be user error.
It feels like
right,
a little
but-
bit of both, but a lot of trachea too.
Yeah, that might just be me not getting high enough demoing it.
Okay.
So I'll run a few of these too, make sure that I got it. Any other questions?
I just had to make sure. I wasn't sure if it was
It should be a strength.
okay.
It really shouldn't be. I mean, like a tap's a tap, but I want it to be a strength. I want it to be a strength. And it should ideally be a strength.
Okay.
All right. Anything else?
Which way are you turning? You said we're turning off to get his head off our chest.
Yeah, I'm trying to make separation on the opposite
Yeah.
side of my primary.
So which way are you turning?
So I'm blading to get my secondary side. If this is my primary side,
Yeah.
I want my secondary side disconnected from his shoulder.
Oh, okay. So you're shifting that.
Okay, so yeah, commit this shoulder down. I didn't really mention that. Once you're here, this separation is made easier if I commit this shoulder down, not stay neutral, but if I hard commit this shoulder down and then still do the center line shift. Okay. And then I'm good.
Well, that's also creating a point of contact better too, right? If your shoulder's going down, that's creating the point of contact again better.
Yes, and it's also it's gonna make getting that space created between his shoulder and my chest even easier.
Able for you to elongate your arm a little more.
Yeah, it's nothing but benefits to like drive down. I should have mentioned that, my bad. But that's that also might have been why you were feeling choke instead of strangle. So, all right. Anything else? All right, 1, 2, 3. All right, everybody, let's rep out 20 of these, the whole flow. At least 20. You're gonna do at least 10 every class this month. Actually, hey, real quick, just do 10 of just the guillotine real quick, just to make go ahead and start seated in the seated front headlock and do 10 of just the guillotine to make sure you got that, okay? And then we'll do the whole thing. Here. That shoulder.
Drop your right shoulder.
You just want to be able to keep your wrist on the inside. As long as you get your wrist on the inside of the shoulder. Make sure I hit now.
Oh, it's a lot.
You gotta get your head past the skin line too. That's you were on the straight. You were on the straight view. Get your head across the center line. Right there. Get your hand in. There. Okay. Take that over toward the ceiling. Then you gotta commit towards that hill. Well, and make sure you trap the leg in the same form or fashion. Make sure you've got something preventing him from just stepping over this near side. His right leg. Once you commit, that makes sense. Whether it's half guard or it's throwing the leg over or close guard, something block should stay.
Like that?
Better, yeah.
Yeah, better. Yeah. Oh, thank you.
Gotta shake your head. Right, the shoulder, put the shoulder down. Down into it, place down towards the mouth, right?
You're trying to make your left arm long, drop your shoulder, there you are.
There you go. Yeah, now grab your wrist. Grab your wrist. Drive your elbow up. Guys, make sure when you commit that you're doing something to block the hip. Trap the leg in half guard, throw the leg over, get a close guard, but something, you've got to block that, that secondary side hip. So they can't just like turn out.
It's like, I've had fun like this too. But
Yeah, it's a lot of trade.
Mhm.
Because we're not getting it.
Good. We're just.
No, it's that.
Sorry, also better. We're doing we're getting chokes on, so we're just like, basically. It's like every 2-3 years. Yeah. Chokes makes them fear, strangles makes them steer.
Yeah.
sometimes that's why it's like, you know, feel like it's so tight right now. And you want that.
Look your head as way. Just do this. Something that like the chest gets that over that shoulder.
Oh, sorry. Here.
Like you can. It's not a great video that makes sense. You want to kind of how I'm able to block him from coming straight with just my shoulder here. It's kind of a similar mechanic going on as I lay my body. As long as I'm deciding to drop it down, see this
Shoulder.
and as
Feels
long
like
as
you
I
just
start
reach it,
back,
but how you
it
reach?
makes move this side of my body.
Yeah,
That makes sense, Trump, as I'm here, even with no hand here. I just created a couple inches. If I had my hand in play, especially on the inside of the bicep, I can create way more space. Yeah.
That gets like a cheap bar, so I still
That, that head coming across is really a byproduct.
What's that?
I see people like moving their head over, but it's not that you're moving your head over actively, it's that you're dropping that choke arm so far. You gotta bring your head with it. So it's a
Your
byproduct.
head goes across the line as the shoulder goes down.
Right, it has to, because it's gotta follow.
Yeah.
Yeah. Here. That's it, yeah.
Yeah, you do.
Are we moving to the same side as the choke arm?
Yeah.
Well,
You're right. It's the same center line trick that we did from this position. Right? If I want to get the high risk position,
Yeah.
my head has to go across his center line to here in order to make mobility for my shoulder to actually shut that through. I can't physically do it if my head's on this side of the center line.
Yeah.
It has to be here.
I see what happened. I have to blame myself more that direction. Get the-
Yeah, the blade is everything here because we have here our wrist.
I'm not blaming myself. I'm not like doing that. I'm trying to force my body. I mean,
Yeah. Yeah, and it's okay if you don't get as big on a high risk people it's gotten from like it's like, you know, we're just gonna get what we want some type of situation with our risk.
But now it's like, you know, into the all. So we do it all once. It's too big. If you're pressure, when I get right, I'm still pressure. With the what he's just like.
Out there, it's pretty, like, it was just like.
Hey, if you've already done your 10, do the whole flow.
You're gonna rip the whole flow out.
Oh, that's right.
But, yeah. I saw you when we were going through down.
Oh, that's it.
What's up, bro?
What's going on?
What's up, man?
So we were going through downtown, right?
Make sure we've fought our wrist to the inside of the shoulder and locked hands before we start committing to a hip. Okay.
Arson, you're trying to go deep.
Even if it happens quickly, like I just don't want you to overcommit and not actually have your wrist in there and set.
Okay.
And you just get flattened out.
Run the shoulders, concentrate on the shoulders.
Let's hit it again. Yeah, he looks purple. I think it worked.
They're right up against.
Blade your body, like literally, like shift your hip out so that your chest disconnects from his shoulder. Yeah, almost. Yeah, we need to be able to create space
Your shoulder.
here.
Better.
We need to get our wrist in there specifically. That's why we're making spaces to get our secondary arm wrist in there. Yeah. Guys, y'all missed the monthly flow. What are y'all doing?
I was like, I called him at like 6:05. I was like, hey, you going tonight? He was like, oh, I don't know. I was about to get home.
The answer is never. I don't know. The answer is always yes.
I just pulled back up to our shop. I was like, well, I'm gonna be there. So he's like, all right, I'll meet you there.
Hey guys. Hey, let's circle up real quick. We got three guys who missed all of it. So I want Devin and Cody. Y'all are gonna teach them the flow. And y'all are gonna help them out. All right. Cool. Talk them through the three things we went through. All right, guys, come in, pay attention.
So I walked through the
Come on, pay attention. No. Like Devin and Cody are teaching. Y'all just help them out.
We walked through the butterfly.
Start with the first thing.
Okay.
Yep.
Starting with butterfly here. Collar tie and his tricep. And the first thing is we're bringing him to our chest, kicking him out.
Yep. Perfect. What's that called?
That would make sense, do.
Well, what's it called? There's a name for it. We used it many times. Let's go. So close.
Forward,
Forward shift.
Yeah.
If I'm ever calling for a forward shift, you need to know what this is. All right. All right. That's a forward shift. Do it one more time.
All right.
Okay. What are the key things that make that work?
You got to first bring him to your chest where he comes off the ground. And you have to keep your feet low. Can't lift him too high. You want to keep your feet beneath your knees, right? I guess. Or just where they were.
Basically where they were. We just want to keep them parallel to the ground. We're not trying to kick up. We're trying to kick straight.
And control him on the way out. It's kind of easy to lose him. Am I missing something?
One more thing that's really crucial for this to work. You got
Yeah.
loading. Okay, two more things. That's a great one. Yes. What'd you say? Say it again. Louder.
Keeping the toes wrapped around our thighs as like a hook.
So do it. Show him. Do it again. So watch Cody's toes and his feet as he loads Devin. You see how they're contoured to the hamstrings? Okay, they're not just floating out there in nowhere, no man's land. Okay. All right. What's the other thing that is crucial to make sure this works? Anybody who knows?
Collar tie.
Yes. Why?
Well, it helps keep you so you come up. But yeah, it keeps it so that they can't.
Keeps your posture down.
Yeah, we're breaking their posture as we load them, and then it prevents them from also just posturing up as soon as we attempt to load them, right? And through the entire duration of it, it keeps their head down, which makes it much easier for us to manipulate their body. Okay, I don't know if I said all that earlier, but
You did.
perfect. All right, what's the next thing we covered?
So after that, we've got to snap his head across to our other arm, get the chin strap right here, get our shoulder obviously tight on his neck. Is that the end of the second part that we
Yeah.
did? Okay.
That's the cross snap.
Yeah. And then from here, we're just going for the guillotine, right?
Let's do the cross snap one more time. Let's talk about it. Okay. So tell us when is appropriate to go for the cross snap.
So you're gonna want to go for the cross snap on his way back down to time it right, because if you wait till he gets to the ground, it's gonna be too late.
One key thing that I mentioned a few times, I might not mention it to y'all because you're doing it well. Was it?
Head needs to be below the shoulders.
Yes, and what about us, like our own posture? I know I mentioned it to you.
It needs to be, you need to be vertical.
Yeah, I want my spine perpendicular. I don't want to try to snap them down when my spine is still back here towards the mat. I want to be actually seated. So, but there's a moment to time that where like I am seated, he's still just loaded. He hadn't hit the ground yet. That's the moment that we're feeding. Okay. All right, let's talk to the guillotine.
So from the guillotine, from the chin strap here, we got to first, can't think of how to word it, but you basically got to invert your shoulders up this way.
What's the fundamental problem right now? Like right here. What's wrong that we need? Like what's in our way?
His shoulder right here is in the way.
Why?
Move this. It's in the way because I can't get my arm in
Yes.
and connect my hands. So we've got to create space here.
Weight of your body.
Yeah. And then basically from here we just roll into it, right?
Yeah, we're remember we talked about this last week on Thursday? All guillotines, the fundamental thing we're just trying to do is cut off arteries in any creative means you can figure out. Okay. So if you're ever wondering about finishing mechanics, it's like, well, what's going to create the pressure, like a scissoring pressure on these arteries and take their chin towards their chest? Look, that's any kind of head and arm choke or guillotine is pretty much that. Wow. Something going on down there. All right. So yes. So why does this do it again? And show fundamentally why this strangle works.
Hold on. Just start in the.
Oh yeah. You start here. It's all good. Perfect.
You start here. So
you see, he creates separation. His chest he had to blade his body so his chest gets disconnected from the shoulder, so his secondary wrist can actually get in there. Okay. Then from here, very similar to tell us why this works and how to finish it.
we've just got to basically pull up and get this leg over the top.
What's happening to Cody's left arm as he takes his right elbow up and towards the ceiling?
Well, wait, so you're causing more coverage on the neck.
Yeah, it's pulling this into the artery more and more, right? Cool. Hey, good job. That was awesome.
Yes.
Anyone want to add anything who was here? No? Anyone have questions who wasn't here?
You guys said blade the body. What did you mean by like? I like see that.
Like I'm square with you right now.
Yeah.
Now I'm bladed. Bladed.
I got you. Good cut.
Yeah, so I'm driving in this particular position. I'm driving my shoulder down into the neck as I move my head to the opposite side of the body, and I look to create separation by blading my body here. I just want to create some form, but it doesn't even have to be this much. I only need enough to work my wrist into this space here, and then he's mine. Make sense? Cool. Any other questions? Y'all are gonna do a ton of those this month. That was the flip. You should rewatch class though, so that you're like clued in on it. Because y'all are gonna do at least 10 every class. Okay. All right, guys. It's past time, but I want to make sure everybody gets a little round in. So one open round, and then we're gonna start practice. Okay. All right. And my guys competing. You're not trying to kill anybody. Okay. I just need you keeping your conditioning up and being mentally present tonight. Okay. Alabama.
Oh, the thing.
Mm-hmm.
Alabama State. Yeah.
Guys, so y'all partner up to get one open round in, and then we're gonna start practice. Okay.
Are we rolling one round or?
Yeah, completely open round, but I want you to specifically, like being mentally present in this role. I'm trying to kill each other.
Check with, like, okay.
Wait, I'm gonna start on the ground.
How was it today? We don't get to see it.
No,
Joshua.
Like that.
Yeah, see, if I slip up. I mean, that's one of their worst days, at least for the ball. Oh, shit. Yeah. I don't know.
I'll talk to you.
what's up, Josh?
How you doing?
Yeah. I'll,
Please be happy.
I could probably fly the time. I'm not gonna try to find that. Not consequences.
It's. Yeah. See, this is. Better wait.
Yeah, it looks, man. It looks. Yeah, I'll just.
Yeah, I mean, I used to think he's trying to kill me. First, he's trying to kill me. Man, so I wound up running that all the time. It doesn't look like it could really work. Or just, yeah, but it really does. And then when you out with me, breaking every.
Don't give me back, Chad. I've been a shoulder crunch.
Back.
Specifically. That's the number one thing I've been.
Are you trying to leg anything with you?
And I want you to focus on getting your cross position and keeping you. You can pin, pin it, not pin it. Pin it, make it like that. Pin it.
And you do the class thing.
Right. Make it really hard. Pin, keep pin. If he starts to fight back to the inside, just take it back. All right, now you're chest to chest, half passing. All right, chest to chest, half passing. What do we do? What do we do?
Nice.
Walk towards the center line.
Out down. Out down.
2 minutes.
Hold on. Hang hold on.
They're all gonna be fast to get, so don't worry about it.
No.
Yeah.
Did that not hurt?
Good. I get hit those guys, we get hit those guys. Now you can get. You really are. I mean, great to figure out. Each head can receive this. Ready?
All right, guys, that concludes class. If you want to still roll, it's for class, please go to that half of the mats. I don't know, practice white mats. You got 60 seconds. Get some water if you're attending practice.
It's never a good start.